So my name is McColloch. I'm the communications director here for the city of Broken Arrow. And if you're looking for the community survey presentation session, this is the one. So we will talk about the citizen survey here in just a second. But first, what I want to talk about are the pillars of local governance, and these are kind of those tent poles. These are those areas that we look at, that we measure all of our decisions that we do for the community. You'll see up there we got public safety. This, of course, refers to our police, fire, ambulance. Without first-class public safety services, you can't have a thriving community. People move here because they know it's a safe environment. They know it's a clean, crime-free type community. Economic development. This refers to our ability to create an environment that promotes private investment, jobs, businesses, because that's that fuel that really drives what we do here. Public infrastructure. This is talking about the roadway system, your utility systems as far as drinking water, sanitary sewer, stormwater management, that sort of thing. The essential things that we need on a day-to-day basis, we really hone in and have a priority on that. Fiscal sustainability, I mean, that speaks for itself there, and the fact that this is all about conservative budgeting. This is about being prudent financial stewards of your money. That's incredibly important, so that you know that we're spending your money correctly. And then the last one is communications and transparency. The city council, the city leaders, the city manager, they put a premium on transparency, and that's one of the things that we're in here today for. I mean, that's what this whole expo is about, is communication and transparency, and helping share with you a little bit of information about what it is that we do at the city for you. And the citizen survey certainly plays a part in that. So the survey, it opened on January 30th and it closes on February 29th. There are three key things that we wanted to do with this, and that was we wanted to gauge citizen satisfaction with the delivery of the services that we provide. It is a very long, comprehensive survey. You're going to see we've got sheets at all the different table settings here. You can scan that QR code and it'll take you right to it if you haven't done it yet. But it's a very comprehensive study. It's going to take you, not study, but survey. It's going to take you probably 17 minutes to complete. But it is just, we really wanted to capture everything. We really want to know how the community is feeling. We want to know what you like, we want to know what you don't like, because we know that there are areas of improvement that we can make, and your feedback is really going to help us with that. The second thing is just how you feel about the community. You're going to see questions on there, what you think of Broken Arrow as a place to live, work, raise children, that sort of thing. We want to know how you feel just about the community as a whole. And the final one is we have a few questions in there, probably about 10, 12 questions, potential capital improvement ideas. We want your feedback on that, your support level with those things. We've partnered with a national company, Polco, and we're using their national community survey to help us with this. And so whenever you get on there, and you'll see on the flyer, you'll see their logo on there. We wanted to make sure that you knew that we were partnering with somebody, so that way if you saw it, you knew that you were in the right place and weren't just looking for City of Broken Arrow. But they're going to be the ones who take care of all the results for us and share them with us. And then the last bullet point on there is that the participation does remain anonymous. There is a voluntary option at the very end to put in your name, to put in your zip code, to put in your email address. We don't get that information. So that information will stay with Polco, and they take that so that way they can notify you whenever we do some more polling, which we will do over the course of the next 24 months. But again, there is no personal identifying information that we're going to get. So it's a great opportunity to speak your mind and speak freely whenever you fill out the survey. This is what it looks like. We did make sure that it was mobile responsive, so that whatever device you were taking the survey on, it was a good experience. So just this kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like on a computer, phone, and tablet. So how the results are going to be used. We have a general obligation bond election coming up here in April 2026. And so we're going to take a lot of these results, and they're going to help to factor in that consideration of the project selection that we have for that bond. Like I said, we're still 2 years out, but that 2 years is going to go quickly. And so this is really important that we have this information available. That bond is going to be approximately a $300 million package. It's going to focus on public infrastructure and quality of life improvements, very similar to the 2018 bond that was passed just 6 years ago, which I'll get into that a little bit later. And of course, probably most importantly, is that there will be no new tax rate increase with this. So that's incredibly important because nobody wants to pay more taxes, obviously. Just to talk a little bit about property taxes and that no new rate increase. Your property taxes by state law with the city, we can only use those for two things: judgments and then the payment of principal and interest on general obligation bonds. This just gives you an idea of what the average tax bill on a $204,000 home in Tulsa County would cost you. You got 7 different taxing jurisdictions there: Tulsa County Health Department, City County Library, Tulsa Community College, Tulsa County, Tulsa Technology Center, City of Broken Arrow, and then Broken Arrow Public Schools. And you can see on that $204,000 house, the City of Broken Arrow gets about $356 of the $2,800 that you'd pay in property taxes. So again, this just kind of gives you an idea of what we do with the property taxes. Our operations are all run off of sales tax, property tax. Like I said, there's two ways that we can use it. We certainly don't like to use it on judgments, but sometimes we have to. Going back to 2018, voters approved this $211 million package, 88 capital improvement projects. It was 6 propositions. Transportation was the big driver, no pun intended there. 142 million of that 211 million actually went towards the transportation, roadways, widening projects, that sort of thing. All 6 of those were independently approved by an average of 71%. I think stormwater was somewhere around 78%, but all of them, they needed at least 60, and they easily passed. We're still in the process of paying down the 10-year series of bond. This was a 10-year series of bond sales. Basically what that means is every year after that approval, we will sell bonds. And then those bonds, the funds that we receive from that, will go towards a series of projects, a series of the 88 projects that we had listed there. That series is planned through 2027. Over the last 2 years, we've sold $75 million in bonds. In 2022, that went towards 22 projects. In 23, that's just back in October, that went towards 27 projects. And when I say goes towards 22 projects and 27 projects, that doesn't mean that they're going to go straight into construction. That funding will go towards that first phase, which is likely going to be design. And then it could go towards, if we've already done the design part, then it'll go towards right-of-way acquisition. It could go towards utility relocation, those sorts of things. And then, of course, it could mean construction. I'm trying to think. This last one, I can't remember. It was somewhere on Washington. We anticipate being in construction sometime this year for the widening project there. And I don't want to say exactly which mile because I can't remember. So I don't want to tell you something that's not factually correct. But there are different phases of the project life cycle. And so when we say 75 million, that is getting that into the pipeline and getting that project started at that initial phase. We are going to complete 2 years ahead of schedule, this 10-year series. It's actually going to be done in 2025. And so that's why we're going back to the public in 2026 as opposed to our initial plan of 2028. That's 2 years ahead of schedule. And the reason for that is because we have seen a significant increase in the net assessed value of properties in our community. And so that's what's allowed us over the last 2 years to sell $75 million worth. So we're really closely getting up there to that 211 million that we said that we would do. So that ends this part of it. And the community survey, like I said, it's going to help shape it's going to help shape the future for what we're going to do over the next 10 years with this next bond. So that's why your opinion matters. This is your home. This is where you live. This is where your tax dollars go. And so it's really imperative that we have your input. We're going to take that input, we're going to align it with the priorities of the different directors of the city departments here in Broken Arrow. And then we're going to start putting together a plan, and then we will do some town hall meetings. We're going to do all kinds of different things to gather the community together lay out all the possibilities that we have, and it'll just be pared down and pared down and pared down until we get to that final list. And I would imagine that final list will probably be determined probably January of 2026. So there will be so many more opportunities between now and then for you to be able to tell us what you think and what you're looking for, what are your needs, and what do you see the needs of the community. So, what questions do you have?
Is there a timeline, like when the results might? I mean, I know the survey closes at the end of February, but as far as, I mean, will the results be made public?
Yes, ma'am. So it'll take Polco about 4 weeks to go through all the data. They're going to extrapolate it, and they will do a presentation during City Council, probably late April, maybe the first meeting in May, and I don't remember exactly what those dates are, but our City Council meetings are the first and third Tuesdays of each month. We'll, of course, let everybody know, and then we're going to take those results and we will put them on the website as well. We have the page right now. You can see on the sheet on our city website, brokenarrowok.gov/citizen survey. Those results will end up on that page as well. And so you'll be able to go through it and see this whole comprehensive study and what the community thinks. So, and we'll leave it there. And the great thing about it too, like I said, other polling, we're going to do deeper dives on some different things. There's some questions in there. Let's do parks, for example. There's a couple of questions towards probably the second, third, I guess, of the survey. And it asks specifically about some parks amenities that you may want, a new dog park, pickleball, that's right, Mr. Goranson, pickleball. There's mountain bike trails, that sort of thing. If we see that there's real heavy support for pickleball courts or mountain bike trails, we will likely go back and do a much smaller survey. Okay, you indicated that you really do want to see some mountain bike trails. Where would you like to see those? Do you want to see them in the north? Do you want to see them in the south? And so we're going to be doing that sort of thing based off of this big survey. We're going to be able to go back and do some smaller things to just to do a little bit deeper dive to get a little bit more feedback. Thank you. Yes, I forgot about the pickleball. I mean, it's huge.
My name's Bob Gorn. But anyway, I did the survey and I saw that. I was glad to see the stuff about pickleball. If you do get a lot of people asking about that, will you ask, like, I know because it's going to be looked at as the next bond issue, whatever. Are you talking about inside or outside? People I play with, that's what they were asking me. And I said, well.
And that's something that we'll be able to go back. So I would imagine, because of the popularity and just incredible increase, the explosion that pickleball is, I'd imagine that's going to be one of them that we do go back and we re-poll again and ask folks a little bit more deeper questions, inside, outside. I think I would prefer to be inside. I've never played, but yeah, I want to. I've got pickleball rackets my wife got me for Christmas.
We play at the Knee House and we also play on Main Street, but Eland Park's going to have, I think, 2 on the outside, and I don't know if they're going to try to put something on the inside.
That's right. I think the master plan for Eland Park has 2 outside ones. So that's right. Mr. Goranson is one of our planning commission. He's on the planning commission for the city. So.
I know with the housing survey that had come out, they had made the presentation recently at City Council and comparing other comparable communities. Do you see that happening with this survey?
I do, and that's one of the reasons why we use Polco, because they pull data from the U.S. Census, and so we'll be able to see some benchmarks and how we compare. And so as soon as the results are, when the survey's closed and once they get through the process and clean it all up for us, we'll be able to see how we compare to others in different aspects, transportation, parks, that sort of thing. Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah.
And if I understand right, when I did the survey, at the very end, you got a user ID or something for Polco, I guess, so you can see results of different surveys. I didn't go back, so can I go back and check the Broken Arrow survey to track what the results are so far?
Yeah, that's a good question. You stumped me. I don't know if you can see it.
Try it, but I'm just curious.
I haven't tried it. I took it, and then I should have put my name and all of that in, but because I'm on the front end of it, I didn't even think about doing that. But yeah.
After I signed up, it showed me like 3 different places for if I wanted to see the surveys. One was Broken Arrow, and then there was 2 others that not even related to the state of Oklahoma, I think. So.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and I'll have to ask them on Monday.
But I'm glad to hear you say once you identify a target topic that you go back asking more questions about that topic.
And that was one of the reasons why we picked this company, is because of that ability to do it, because it's going to be unlimited. So we're going to be able to look at these results and really kind of get an idea, okay, what do we need to ask more of? I can tell you, one of the first ones I know that we're going to come right back out with, in possibly May or June, is more questions about roads and the roadway system. Where do you want to see widening projects, that sort of thing, so we can just get a little bit more granular.
So when we signed up with POCO, and I'm sorry to hijack the topic.
No.
So when we signed up with that POCO, I think I did the way I did it, and whenever Broken Arrow does more surveys, it'll be automatic. It'll send an email saying, here's the
Yep.
survey.
Yep, that's exactly how it works. Because you probably put in your first name, your last name, your email, and then I think it probably asked you your zip code, if I remember correctly.
Someone a password.
Yeah, and you had to create an account. So what that does is they use that just to notify you later. Okay, City of Broken Arrow has more coming. So, and of course, I know that not everybody will put in their information, so we will do exactly what we've done with this one, and we'll blast it out through all of our channels. And we have Mr. Spurgeon going on, City Manager Michael Spurgeon going on Fox 23 next week. He's going to do a live interview on their morning show. I'm working with another television station to try to get him on. We'll go through our entire repertoire of messaging to get it out.